Welcome to the Frozen Four Championship Press Conference. I'm joined by Minnesota head coach Brad Frost and seniors Rachel Ramsey and Rachel Bona. With today's win, the Gophers earned their 6th national title in program history and their 3rd in 4 years. Minnesota finishes the season with an overall record of 34-3-4. We will start with an opening statement from Coach Frost and then open it up to questions from the media. Please raise your hand and wait for the microphone. State your name and affiliation before asking your question. Coach, we can begin whenever you are ready.
I'm ready. Sorry for the delay. Well, first off, congratulations to Harvard on making it to this game. It's not an easy game to win, and we found that out last year. We had to play probably our most complete game of the year, I think, tonight to beat Harvard. We knew that they were going to be fast and deep and real good goaltending, and we hope to try and capitalize in the first period and see if we can get the crowd going a little bit, and we completely did. So Harvard had a great run, and we're a very formidable team. I don't know how you explain what's going on here, quite honestly. To have these two and Megan Lawrence and Shyler Sletta to play in 4 national championship games in a row in their career, and then to come away with 3 of them, I think it just speaks volumes to our team and our program, our players. We are so blessed and so fortunate. I feel incredibly blessed just to be able to coach at the University of Minnesota, let alone to coach such great people and players as these guys are. So just thrilled. It's somewhat surreal, but man, I tell you what, when you got 3,500 screaming fans cheering for you, it sure gives you a little extra boost, and our team was able to come through tonight.
We will now open it up to questions from the media.
Barrett Anderson, KSTP. Yesterday, you said that the East wasn't as physical as you thought it might be. Today, it proved you wrong with a lot of body checks, a lot of body checking calls. Can you talk about that, how it went into today's play?
Yeah, I thought, our 3 penalties there in the first were all stick penalties, and so, I don't consider that overly physical, but I think what you saw tonight was 2 very good, very fast teams that didn't want to give up any part of the ice, and so there's going to be some collisions. There's going to be some people just laying it all out there on the line, and so I think that's what contributed to maybe the more physical play, but I didn't, quite frankly, think it was much more physical than what we normally do.
Joe Christensen, Star Tribune for the 2 Rachels. You've been part of 3 of these. Can you compare this to the other 2 for a moment, and just kind of, being the seniors now, doing the big celebration?
Yeah, I told her after the game that I remember 2 years ago when we won at home, and I remember thinking how lucky those seniors were to win the national championship at home in front of all our fans, and to be able to end my career. Obviously, it's a really bittersweet moment because I know I'll never put on that jersey again, but it couldn't have ended much better than it did.
Yeah, I mean, she just said it all, and every year that we've won, it's been very different, being the 2nd seed behind Wisconsin our freshman year, and that was, we were the underdogs to win that one, and then the next year completely flipping and winning 41-0, and that was just a stress relief. Then you go to last year, and very close best friends with the senior class, and to see those girls go out on a loss, it's heartbreaking. So to come into this year and for our class to be able to go out with 3 out of the 4, and then the freshmen to experience it and the sophomores to experience who haven't yet, I just hope they enjoy this moment and know we've been blessed, but it really doesn't happen every day.
Candace Horgan, U.S. College Hockey Online. Rachel Ramsey, it seemed like they had you on your heels there in the defensive zone for a little while in the second period. Can you talk about the adjustments that they seemed to make and how they were pressuring you there?
Yeah, they're a very fast team, and in my opinion, probably one of the fastest that we've played all year. We talked about this going in, but I said that they're going to play as a team and as a full unit, and they managed to do that. They were fantastic in the neutral zone, and when they got the puck in our defensive zone, absolutely relentless. So I think it's interesting because most teams in most games, it's probably 50-50 like that. You're in your zone like that, and you're in the offensive zone like that, and we're not used to it. So I'm sure for anybody watching, it's a strange sight to see. but I think we were very happy with how we played in D zone. The 6 defensemen, we always just say a defensive shift is a great shift as long as the puck doesn't go in the net. So on our heels maybe a little bit, but I think we were pretty happy with the outcome.
Al Shock from the Boston Globe to either the players. When Megan scored her goal, she was wide open. It was almost like a goalie drill. Are you surprised that she was able to get it by such a hot goaltender in a situation like that?
I've been playing with Megan all year, and that's her shot, to be honest. I've seen numerous of those pucks go in that same exact spot, and so I wasn't very surprised when it went in. Obviously, I was the one following Kelly, and I'm like, who is she passing to? And then I looked over and saw Megan was wide open, and so, yeah, that's her spot, and I wasn't very surprised she hit it.
Brian Murphy with the Pioneer Press. Brad, victory for Amanda, you know, that's a lot to step into to take over for Nora, and she gives up 5 last year in the championship game. What did she mean to you, and what do you think this means for her?
Well, I think it's huge. You know, she was the reason, in my opinion, that we won the other night against Wisconsin, and then for her to just have that big game experience is so huge for her and for our team. We brought her in to replace Nora Ratu, and I don't think there's too many goalies who would like that task after what Nora's done. But you know, Lev was somebody that was a freshman when we went 41-0, and she saw what it took. And then last year, you know, I think she would agree that she didn't play her best game, but we didn't play our best game as a team. And then tonight, you could tell that she was confident. She made a couple big saves early, and just again allowed us to settle in. I thought we settled in quicker tonight than we did on Friday, but she still had to come up pretty big for us. So very happy for her.
Coach Tom Powers from the Pioneer Press. It's 1-0 in the third period. They've sort of weathered the storm on enemy ice. It's very close. What are you thinking at that point?
Well, I'm thinking, man, I'd love to get it to 2. And then we did, and then they come back and to get that one. But you know, I love the way our team plays when we have the lead, in particular in the third. We were forcing them to go 200 feet, and if they can go 200 feet and score, then that's a credit to them, and that's actually what they did. But we can live with that. I think more importantly was the response right after with Megan's goal there, and been busting Bona's chops here coming up the stairs. She had 2 cracks at the open net on Friday and missed them both, but she got some good practice there to hit that one there, and at the end of the game, that was obviously the one that sealed it for us.
Grant Donald with the Minnesota Daily. This is for either or both of the Rachels. You know, dynasty is a word we like to throw around in sports. Do you guys feel like in your 4 years you've kind of created a dynasty in women's hockey?
I don't know if the team or the players or the coaches or everybody want to say yes, this is a dynasty. So I will say that I think what we've done is incredibly special. Don't know if it will happen again, and we'll leave it up to you guys to decide if it's a dynasty or not.
And then, Coach, you feel like you're in the midst of coaching a dynasty?
I think I'm in the midst of something really special. Like I said earlier, I don't know what's going on. But being a person of faith, I know that God's got a plan, and I said that a couple of years ago. I don't know. We have great administration, we have a great coaching staff, and we have unbelievable kids. We don't talk a lot about winning, we talk about the process, and then we end up winning 3 national championships in the last 4 years. It's kind of ironic just how that works. Don't talk a lot about the winning, focus on the process, and had we lost tonight, I still would have been incredibly proud of our kids, because it was a great year regardless of the outcome, but certainly winning is the icing on top.
Harlan Martel, USCHO. Ms. Bona, the rosters turn over quickly, so happy your teammates hadn't won a national championship before. Could you see a special hunger out of that group?
Yeah, I honestly think going into this game was completely different when we went into the game last year. I think last year we kind of came in too confident, thinking, you know, we're playing someone out east they've never won a national championship and all that stuff. But you could see today all those sophomores who lost last year wanted it that much more, and all those freshmen who hadn't won it yet have been hearing us talk about winning it and losing it, and so I think that definitely played in. I honestly thought before the game that we were the most ready we've ever been.
Onita Craven, Minnesota spokesman, recorder. Coach, with all these nets that you've won in the last couple of years, are you going to make a hammock like Christian Laettner?
You know, this is the first time we've cut the net. And I don't know if anybody else has done it, but I was like, you know what, let's start a tradition and see if this thing goes viral to all my 1,700 Twitter followers. So, yeah. No, I'm excited to lay in a hammock here one of these days and just relax a little bit.
Candace Horgan, USCHO Track and Line. Coach, can you address your team's depth? I mean, they seem to do a really good job of shutting down Brandt and Cameron in the first couple of periods, and Wolf came up with a big goal, and then Lawrence on get it back.
Yeah, I mean, as I was telling Rachel, Bona, and Kelly, and Lawrence that line, I said, you guys, you got to make a difference. You have to make a difference tonight because they've got such. Harvard has such great defensemen that it was hard to get matchups at times with Brandt's line as to who we wanted out there in regards to their D. But I mean, what a difference those guys made tonight. Our third line played exceptional tonight as well. But for Megan Wolf, I mean, what a goal. Somebody who we recruited as a forward, played her at D all last year because we needed to, played her up front for half the year and didn't score a goal. And just felt like we needed to move her back to D to strengthen our blue line, and then she comes up with her, I think, third goal of the year. But that was a beauty. I mean, like I said, it just got the momentum for us and got the crowd into it, which was big.
We'll take 2 more questions.
Brad, Dave Campbell, the Associated Press, about the net cutting. Was that spontaneous, or did you have that sort of in mind?
I had it in mind, but you never want to think about it too deeply, because the last thing you want to do is watch somebody else cut the net for the first time. No, it was. I don't know what I thought of it, but I was like, you know what, the kids, well, obviously we have the big trophy, which is special, and the banners and those types of things, but why not take a little piece of the net with us to remember the year.
Coach Mike Gallagher, Gopher Sports update. As we look and dissect and break down what is similarities, differences between these last 3 or 4 teams, is there one quality you see throughout this program, throughout this organization, that has maybe been a reason, a factor that this team has been so successful?
Yeah, I've said it 100 times and I'll say it again. It's our culture, it's our values, it's the process, it's all those things. For people like Ramsey and Bona here to come in and hear the upperclassmen talk about what it means to be a Gopher and to focus on the process and to be tough and grateful and disciplined and devoted at all times. Last year I thought we exuded and fulfilled our values after that loss maybe more than we've ever done before. It's easy to exude your values and embody those when you're winning, but to lose last year and still see our players and our kids be so grateful for the opportunity to play here, it just makes this year that much sweeter.
Thank you very